So what we want to learn today about food. How many people are on a lot of vitamins? How many people are on vitamins? Any vitamins? Okay. You're not on any? I think I would say 90% of the people are on some sort of vitamins, right?
Right.
How much money you guys spend on vitamins?
Wow.
A lot? $20 a month? $30?
Yeah.
40?
Yeah.
Right? $20 to $40, right? That money we can use for our beauty products, right, Amy?
Oh, yes,
We don't want to waste our money, right? Or we can buy watch or shoes, right? Instead of buying those vitamins. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I want everyone to hear me. I can be louder. So today's topic is food is medicine. And when I say food is medicine, believe it or not, that is true. And I practice it and I preach it because anything I tell you, anyone, I preach that in my own household. Or I have seen my elders, my mom and dad, my parents or grandparents actually experiencing those foods, and they treat those foods as medicine. So we can, when I say that, I think this is maybe some of you already heard me, and I use this analogy a lot, that our body is like cars, right? And we have to take care of our cars. For car, we take every year for tune-up, we take oil change. So our body, we have to take care of our body as we take care of our cars or our homes. All our ears and eyes and heart, lungs, all the body organs needs really good follow-up. Our eyes, ears, everything. So each food item we eat, it has effect on certain organs. Like some things we eat, it will affect our eyes. Some things we eat, it will affect our heart. Some things we eat, it will affect our kidney. So, number one way to age gracefully is through food. And some are my favorite items. Honey. Anybody knows what honey does to us? Anyone? And everybody knows honey is good, but anyone knows that what honey really does? No. Honey is actually anti-inflammatory. You know what inflammation means? Everybody knows what inflammation is, right? Our body gets sore, okay? Our body reacts to certain things, and our body, when become inflamed or sore, that soreness can be in our joints, that soreness can be in our heart, that soreness can be in our eyes, ears. Blood produce lot of cells, okay? And some cells are actually makes those soreness. That is why we say it's inflammation. Inflammatory cells. Inflammation, you hear all the time, inflammation. Our pipes in our body become sore, they become inflamed, they become swollen. That pipe can be in our hearts, that pipe can be in our brain, that pipe can be in our kidneys, because the blood goes through those pipes. Blood travels back and forth in our system through those pipes. And imagine if the pipe is only this big normally, but if it's swollen and it's red, the pipe whole anatomy will be changed, right? So what honey does is, it's anti-inflammatory. It reduces the inflammation in our system. And that inflammation can be anywhere, starting from head to toe. Everybody knows what honey does, but we don't know the details of honey. So if anyone who's having arthritis, who is having hair loss, there are some products which actually my husband uses it, and I make him use it. Because I want him to look handsome forever. So he started losing hair. So this one product, which is honey based, you read the contents, and the website is here back. I have nothing to do with that, but I use that product. It's all honey based with some other natural ingredients. So anybody who's losing hair, that they can use it. You will not believe that it actually helps him. When he stopped using it, he started losing his hair more frequently, thinning of the hair. So honey can even stop the hair loss. Your arthritis can be delayed. Your arthritis can be actually prevented with honey. So I would suggest everyone taking couple of tablespoons of honey every day, one way or the other. Either you can put on the toast, or you can actually put it in the milk and drink it, or take a spoon of honey. It's very, 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 very important for you guys. It has all kind of minerals, and it has all kind of good stuff. You will not regret it to spend money on honey. Okay? That was number one. An apple. Apple, you must have heard one apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? But make sure that apple is organic. Make sure that apple, if you cannot spend extra money on buying organic stuff, because organic stuff is expensive, what you can do is peel the apple. First wash the apple thoroughly, then peel it well. There is a saying in our culture, they say even if apple is of gold, you still peel the apple. So the purpose of saying that is that you have to peel it. You don't eat the skin of it. So you peel the apple, then eat it. Then there will be less pesticides which were sprayed on that, or fertilizer which were sprayed on the fruit. You will take less of those dangerous stuff inside you. Okay? Peel the apple. Take apple. Apple has all kind of. Also, apple has a lot of iron in it. You need to have. It is must. You have to take an apple every day. Okay? Lots of vitamins, minerals, everything. I'm going to complete this, and then I'll tell you how you're going to say. Then comes to the milk. Milk, I don't have to say anything. Everybody knows. Milk has calcium, vitamin D, sodium, potassium, glucose, every kind of stuff, good stuff you have in milk. Again, I would suggest that organic is the best way to go. But if organic, at Wegman I buy the big gallon of kind of organic, that comes out to a little bit cheaper. So otherwise, Price Right also has a little bit cheaper products than the other.
Are you talking whole milk?
Whole milk, take the whole milk, and if you want to make it 2%, add half water. Yeah, I told the last time. Some people remember that. You don't have to spend like
It's less processed.
and also you are actually adding your own water in front of you, right? So if you want to make it skim, add even more water, and it will be skim milk, okay? My husband always does that. Faizan, my husband's name is, by the way, Faizan, so I'll call Faizan. Faizan, actually what he does is he will buy all the time whole milk. He will half water, half milk. So he makes it 2%. Okay, so milk is must, but organic is better. If you can, please save the money. I'll tell you how you're going to save the money and where you can save the money. And then egg. That also has to be organic, because when I say organic, we can avoid the risk of cancer. Imagine that, what is cancer? Anybody knows what cancer is? What cancer meaning? Overgrowth of cells. And that can be normal cells. Overgrowth of cells. Okay? Overgrowth of cells mean cancer. So when we see that all these fertilizers and all these, the cows are eating those hormones, growth hormones, they make them eat the growth hormone so that they produce more milk. We want bigger tomatoes, we want bigger potatoes, we want bigger of this, we want more of this, we want more of that. So when we have those fertilizers, those cells, and we eat that food, those cells which were very little tiny sitting in somewhere in my body, and now they have growth hormone. We are eating food which has growth hormone. So those cells which were just sitting there, now they are starting growing more and more and more in number. And then we get cancer. Overgrowth of normal cells. We give cancers to ourselves. That is why I say food is medicine. Whatever we eat, that is going to make our destiny. Whether we want diabetes, we want cancer, we want high blood pressure, we want cholesterol, it is all depend what is my food for today. Yes.
Regarding the eggs, do you recommend eating the yolk also?
I recommend full one organic egg every day. Because the yolk, imagine God has made these eggs, right? He must have a purpose, right? Imagine how egg comes, imagine that. How egg comes. It's one of the beautiful food product God has made and given us. But what we do, we feed hen all the junk stuff. We feed these hens like, oh my God, no tomorrow. We actually, can I pull for you, Tajay? Hello?
Hello, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much.
So these hen are fed all the bad stuff, all the fertilizers, all the junky stuff, so that they produce more eggs. But organic is like it's written that it's vegetarian feed. If you cannot actually buy, if it's expensive for you, then the next best thing I buy is the vegetarian fed hen eggs. So the hens which are fed the vegetarian diet. I would recommend to eat one egg every day. But talk to your doctor also. But I tell my own patients, it won't harm you. Organic egg every day. Actually, after eating all these 4 items in the food, you stop your multivitamin with confidence. You stop your vitamin C and D with confidence. You can stop your vitamin E with confidence. How many $40, $50 a month you can save it, right? Right? Can we save $40, $50 a month?
Love to.
If you buy that $40, $50 you can spend on the organic food. Try to go to the farmer's market, and sometimes I go to Lakeshore Hospital, in the way there is a little farmer's, like some, homegrown eggs. So she will have different color eggs, different sizes, not clean, not washed. So she will save for me all those 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 dozen, and she only sell it for $1.50 a dozen. So when I go to Lakeshore, I'll get all the eggs from her. There's a lady who sells it. So find sources, and it's also promoting the local farmers, little people like us. So we have to help out each other. Okay? So Price Right has also good good price organic egg. So, and also the milk. So let's make sure that you add these 4 items. What are those 4 items? Number 1?
Honey.
Good. How many? 2 tablespoons of honey every day. 2 tablespoons every day. Number 2?
Apple.
Apple. Peel off the apple. Wash it well and peel it off. Okay. Number 3?
Milk.
Milk. A glass of milk every day. That glass of milk every day will give you 400 to 500 milligram of calcium plus vitamin D plus other things. So even you are taking calcium tablets, like we recommend 1200 milligram of calcium every day. If you add a cup of yogurt with that, or little cheese or spinach, a cup of spinach, you can also avoid your calcium. How many people are taking calcium? Yeah, quite a lot. So if you want to avoid those calcium tablets, you must take 1 glass of milk, 1 cup of yogurt, and the third, that will give you 800 milligram of calcium. And plus you can get rid of spinach or cheese or nuts, almond, they all have a lot of calcium. So you can actually get rid of your calcium, because calcium tablets also constipate you. Does it constipate?
No, not really.
Sometimes it does constipate people. So then people take stool softener.
Yeah.
Then they spend money on stool softener. You can save that money. Okay, so yeah, save money. Save money. You know, if you say half of the income is how you spend. Half of your income is if you spend wisely. Moderation. Spend wisely is half of your income. Okay. So what I said, I'm going to go through the system wise, so you guys capture all those things. Eyes. As we grow older, we get cataract, but we can prevent it, or we can actually save our eyes for longer time. So vitamin A, beta carotene, and vitamin E. Vitamin A and E, both of these things are in honey. Okay, beta carotene is a lot of carrots. So honey and carrots, you can prevent your eye problems. Okay? All right, next. Okay, vitamin A. And then lots of other fruits and vegetables has vitamin A. Pumpkins has a lot of vitamin A. Collard green has it. Butternut squash has it. Kale, spinach, carrots, sweet potatoes has a lot. Yes, a lot of sweet potatoes. Carrots, sweet potatoes. Each one of that you can add a little bit in your diet to avoid your cataracts and to give good vitamins to your eyes. And
Do you have an extra handout? A handout?
did we have handouts? No. Next time we'll make our handouts.
Oh, okay. And you said apples you should peel?
Peel the apple for 2 reasons. There is a lot of pesticides and a lot of fertilizer when they spray them, and sometimes they will even spray the apple to make it look beautiful, right?
Yeah, so can't you just wash it? No?
Wash it and peel it.
Wash it and peel it?
And peel it. Wash it well. All the vegetables everyone should have a habit of
Washing.
Washing is very important. You will take out some of those pesticides, sprays, and all the junky things.
What about potatoes?
Potatoes, also wash it and peel it.
When I wash it,
Peel it.
you should peel those, you shouldn't eat the skin?
No. I know the reason I'm telling you not to eat skin is to avoid those pesticides and all those fertilizers and all those bad stuff which they use to make these vegetables either grow better or more or look prettier.
Yeah.
So that is the reason. Otherwise, actually potatoes peel has a lot of vitamin C. Yeah. Okay. Vitamin E. What kinds of food has vitamin E? And vitamin E, what vitamin E does to us is it really helps our memory. Vitamin E helps our memory for longer period of time. So we have to feed our brain the right vitamins. Almonds has a handful of almonds. Everybody is talking about almonds these days. Almonds, but not too much, not too little. Like 10, 15 almonds every day will give you 100 calories. 10, 15 is not a big deal. So you take it, it's good for your eyes, it's good for your brain. Mustard green, that's we cook it in a very nice way, but that's really a good leaves which has a lot of vitamin E. Apricots, bell pepper, olives. Olives actually you should use every day in your diet, olives. Olives are like 10, 12 green olives or black olives.
Oh, black
Or green is alright. But they are also one of the top food on my list, which I use it at home every day. Okay.
What else do they give besides vitamin E?
Okay. Olives has also other minerals and vitamins in it, like sodium, potassium, even other than vitamin E, they also has, I think, vitamin C also. Olives have a lot of things which you should have olive on your table. Must.
Okay.
papaya, sunflower seeds, spinach, what else is that? All the red chili powder, cold pressed plant, and then olive oil. The same thing, because olive, you get the olive oil.
Wow.
And pine nuts. Pine nuts are very, very nice thing to have. I love it, but they are so expensive. They're so expensive. There's this much of, I think, 5 cents.
Aren't olives full of salt though?
Take it without salt.
Yeah. Rinse it?
Rinse it well. Try to live a caveman's life. Try to live a life of when there was nothing, no refrigeration, no canning, no microwaves, try to live that kind of life. At that time there was no cancers, very little doctors, there were very few doctors were available. So everybody was actually their own doctor. Okay, vitamin E. Everybody, whoever like on the table of vitamin E, pick an item 1 or 2 which you like it. That's why we put a lot of items so you can pick, and you stop taking vitamin E then. Okay? Teeth. Okay. And everybody knows how teeth are important. I was telling somebody today that 2 teeth in my mouth cost me almost $7,000. Dentists were so expensive, but I didn't, I just kept spending money because I didn't want to lose my teeth. They did a root canal once and then twice and then 3 times because I wanted my original teeth to be there. I didn't want to lose it. So try to save your teeth, even the cost is so high. I would not buy clothes and shoes, but I'll spend on my teeth. I don't have too many clothes. You must have noticed I wear again and again the same clothes. Okay, so dry mouth and sugar, bacteria and xylitol. The reason I put these few things, and then I'll tell you why I put these things. Whenever you are eating, after you do proper mouth washing, that's very important to avoid the bacteria, to avoid the stains, and to avoid all the bad stuff in the teeth. Which vitamins and what food can help your teeth or help your teeth in good health? That is milk. Did you put it? Okay, you can put it. Okay.
What's that xylitol?
That is also one of the product which I think I didn't want to go into. That's too medical terminology. I usually like to give you simple stuff, so that you actually, instead of giving you heavy stuff for medical terminology, I give you like sugar. That's easy. Bacteria, this is a little.
Isn't it in some toothpaste?
Food to promote healthy teeth. Okay, dental bite. Okay, here it says that bad stuff is like alcohol, soft drinks, candies, and the good stuff are fruits and vegetables, in which they put a milk and cheese, and they say sometimes tea is also good. Bottom line again comes back to the basic products, which I said 5 products on your table every single day, and milk and carrots and all those fruits. You have to balance your diet. 40% carbohydrate, 40% carbohydrate. That can be your rice, that little bit of rice, little bit of bread, little bit of everything. 40% of your plate should be carbohydrate, 30% should be protein, and 30% should be fat. So when people say you have to stop altogether the oil, no, you don't stop the oil. You also cook, food in oil. So little bit of oil, little bit of protein, little bit of carbohydrate. So the food should have balanced diet. Fruits and vegetables are included, and that sometimes has a lot of carbohydrate. So that will come into the carbohydrate. Bones, huh? That's one, yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to give you a body part, and I'm trying to give you some food which can help them. Okay. I think I'm on the way. Right. So, bones. How many people have those, how many people have, I shouldn't be asking this question, but I think a lot of people have osteoporosis and a lot of people have arthritis, right? So, and it happens. When we are growing older and older, in the beginning of our years, like this, she's a young girl, she has, when we are growing, at that time we have bone making cells more and bone destroying cells less. Is everybody with me? Bone making cells more and bone destroying cells are low. But as we grow older and older, as we are in our 40s and 50s, 30 onward, 40s, now we have bone making cell and bone destroying cells come into hand in hand. Okay? So now we are equal in number. But as we grow older and older, bone destroying cells are more in number than bone making cells. So as we grow older, the things reverse. How to stop those cells? How to stop those cells? That is also by eating healthy. What are the things which can make your bone in a healthy form? Is one is the milk. So milk, egg, apple, and honey can help your bones also. It can help you in arthritis. What is arthritis? Anybody knows what arthritis is? Inflammation of the bones, of the joints actually. The two ends, when they come together, that's our joint. If there's a cartilage into each bone, which actually help the friction and help to move. But if sometimes people, first of all, people lose that cartilage. How to avoid, how to have that cartilage in good health? You know, all these long bones of cows and goats, they have bone marrow. Sometime I'll cook the long bones at home and have those marrow, because that marrow is good for our cartilage. Glucosamines and chondroitin comes, actually the whole concept of glucosamine and chondroitin is that marrow. Glucosamine and chondroitin does help a bone, does help those cartilage a lot. So anybody ever had these long bones eaten or cooked at home? No. You did? No? Huh?
All night long.
Yeah. All night long, you take these goats or cows, the long bones without meat, they give you long bones, just long bones. They will also make some pieces. They let it cook, and it becomes soupy. Just drink that soup. And I tell you, it's really, it has lot of, you will see that it is like a gel. It is like gel. And it is like, it has a lot of chondroitin and glucosamine, which is good for bones. So it's all, again, it's food. You enjoy it also. It's not only vitamins, you know, which you, the pills which you, when we are eating those pills, our body, you know, reacts to those. We don't like those pills, so we are unhappy when we take it, right? Nobody is happy when they take pills, right? But when we eat food, we are happy. So what is important? Happiness. Happiness is the most important thing for ourselves. So if I'm eating soup with a good company, I'm going to be happy. I'm already halfway through to be healthy. But if I'm having those, my vitamin E, multivitamin, vitamin C, vitamin D, and like 5 pills just to make me happy, oh my God. And then I couldn't take calcium. I tell patients, you know, do the diet thing, but if you cannot do the diet thing, then take those calcium, because I don't take calcium. Sorry. But I make sure I drink milk every day. I make sure I take yogurt. I make sure I use olives. I make sure I take honey. So make sure that you do eat the proper stuff. If you cannot do it, then take those pills. Okay. So some food we put it in. What has vitamin D? Eggs again. That's why I said, if you have one egg every day, my dad, he took all his life, he took 2 eggs every day. His doctor said, are you crazy? And he called me, he said, what to do? I said, no, Dad, you continue taking 2 eggs. Don't worry about the. So he still takes 2 eggs in a day. Now he started taking boiled, but he used to take fried 2 eggs every single day since the age of maybe 5 or 3. So his bones actually were better than my sister's. And she was only 40 years old when we checked our bone. His bones were better than my sister because my sister was not that good with food. So I told my sister, you should learn the lesson from him. Eat well. So fish is very good. Tuna, fish, and cereal. Sometimes they actually artificially fortify those cereals with vitamin D and calcium. But I would still recommend to take the first hand. Take the charge of your own life instead of people they fortifying cereal with vitamin D. Now it's sunny, you can maybe 10 minutes walk around and come back, then 10 minutes, and vitamin D gets stored in your system for quite many months. So if you don't, winter months we don't have, but we take in summer a little bit, and don't be in sun for too long, like 20-30 minutes, no. Just even 10 minutes, make a trip, and the way you should take sunlight shouldn't be direct, maybe in the back or maybe in the little shade and then do the sunlight. You can store your vitamin D. Calcium, cheese, yogurt, milk, and spinach, I already told you, the collard green, all these things have. So our bones, we talked about the bones. What is the number one thing which you guys will do to keep your bone healthy? Number 1.
Exercise.
Very good. Exercise. In food,
Milk.
which food item you will take?
Milk.
Spinach. Whatever you like, but when you eat food, at that moment you tell yourself, the most important talk is talking to yourself. That's the most important, right? Do we agree with that? So talk to yourself. I'm going to take this one today for my bones. I'm going to take this one carrot for my eyes. I'm going to take olive, which has anti-vitamin E for my brain. I'm going to take almonds for my brain to reduce the risk of dementia. Dementia is so common these days. Every 5th person is getting diagnosed with dementia. We can talk that.
Can I just look at that?
Sure. Mind. 7 ways to keep your.
Little click happy there. Here we go.
Okay, mind. Maintaining your mental health. 7 ways to keep your memory sharp at any age. That is number 1. Keep learning. Keep learning. Stay mentally active. Pursue a hobby or learning a new skill. Use all your senses. The more senses you use in learning something, the more your brain will be involved in retaining the memory. I will give you a story here. One of my patients, 2 or 3 of my patients actually came to me, and now they are retired. They don't have the usual, get up in the morning, go to work. So number 1, I tell them not to retire. But if you have retired, take the retirement, find another way to keep yourself busy. If you don't use it, you are going to lose it, for sure. So few people I literally sat down and I make a plan with them that this is the next best thing you can do. If you can do babysit, do babysit. If you can do a teaching assistant, you can do teaching assistant. If you can volunteer at the hospital, you do that. If you can knit. Knitting is very important. Knit, and you can start selling your products in the senior centers or in the Salvation Army or in the places where they need the help, or homeless people would, so you have to keep using your hands, you have to keep using your legs so your joints are in active form. Walking, exercise is very important, and also try to keep yourself happy. Happiness is very, very important. If you're happy, even if you are sick, even if you have blood pressure, diabetes, but enjoy the day what God has given us. Like today is a good day. Let's be happy about that. Okay, little happiness from this world. Okay? Food to promote memories. Memory actually is very, very important. Not for the patient, but for the people around that patient. It's such a sad, sometimes, I come home, I will cry because I cannot see those young people. Young people are getting like in 50s these dementias, 50s, 60s, because of the food. Try to be natural, try to avoid those preservatives, try to avoid all the junk things, try to be healthy, try to live a caveman's life, okay. Some food, water, drink lots of water. Hydration is very important. Hydration. How much water you drink in a day?
About 5 glasses.
5 glasses. 5 glasses is how much? 250 ml? Maybe 1,000, 1 liter, which is pretty good actually. How about you? A liter.
Sometimes 6 to 8.
6 to 8? Okay, a liter.
I don't know.
You don't know? How many? 2 glasses, 3 glasses?
Well, water.
Water. Or coffee or tea together?
Well, tea, cup, yeah. Well, I have a
4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
at least 6 to 8.
Okay, how about you?
About 4.
4, how about you? 6. How much water you drink? Huh? 4 glasses.
4, 5.
5.
8. Probably equal 10%. That's
Okay. Okay.
8.
8. 10 glasses. How much water you drink? 2. 5.
2 or 3.
8.
2 or 3.
Jerry, how much you drink?
4.
4.
That includes tea and
I'm a teacher. 3. I don't have time to go to the bathroom.
How much you drink? You know what? Young people are the worst patient. Young people are worst. He said 3, 4. He said out of all this crowd, I think one said 2 or 3, and one said like 3. You said 2, right? No, you said
I
2.
said
2. You see, still it's pretty good. But everybody doubled up the water. 2 liters at least. 2 liters. How you do 2 liters? You put a pitcher at your dining table or wherever you sit more. If you're working, put a pitcher or put water in thermos or any way where it's 2 liters of water. 2 liters minimum. That is 2 liters minimum. And drink as you go. Drink sip by sip. Drink anyway because you need water. What water does is it flushes your kidneys, it cleans your kidney, it gives good blood volume. So do you have enough blood in your system? Even if we have blood cells, but we need water because we need some fluid so those cells run through our system. 5 liters of the blood is running in our system, so we need water, 2 liters minimum of water. Okay? So everybody will at least double up some water. And this lady especially.
Now that I work here, I can. But when I was teaching, I just couldn't do it.
There is no excuse.
What is that thing in the bottom?
Which one?
Jar?
That's tea.
Tea. That's what I drink a lot of.
That's good. Tea is good. Tea is good. Actually, that can be a lemon tea or that can be just regular tea. Lot of things over here, olive oil, oyster, chocolate, tuna, garlic, egg, green, which we already talked about, tomatoes, cocoa nibs, so we talked about. One thing I'm going to, yes, sir.
I see coffee on there, right? Now, years ago, they said 1 cup of coffee, otherwise you're gonna rot away or something. Now, the philosophy is coffee is good.
Moderation is good.
Okay.
Anything you do, whatever. When I said you can use honey, I don't want you guys to start taking honey. No, moderation. Few olives, 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of tea, 2 cups of tea. Moderation. 1 cup of coffee. It's a cocoa beans. you can avoid it. I don't drink coffee myself, so I'm not a fan of
You
coffee.
got your water?
It's got water in it.
Yes, that's why people little coffee and then rest is water.
But it's supposed to be something for your memory, it's supposed to be for something else.
It actually, it's a stimulant. It stimulates. It sometimes people feel happy with coffee because it stimulates your body. It actually, your system is hyper, emotional.
She keeps you waking up in the morning.
Yeah, cigarettes too.
Yeah, cigarettes too. It has stimulanted.
So good, but anyway.
So my addiction is tea,
Tea, okay, well.
2 or 3 cups a day.
That's, most women love tea, most
Yeah.
guys like coffee.
It has caffeine in it, so it's stimulant.
But so you're with Flash, you would be.
It is stimulant. It's cocoa is like a coffee. Coffee.
So you're eating it dry, it's not.
Yeah, sometimes, it has caffeine in it, but not too much. I would say 1 cup of coffee is equal to 3 or 4 cups of tea. So I rather, if you don't take too much caffeine, it's not good. 1 cup of coffee is good, all right, don't do more than that. Then your heart starts beating faster, it's not good for us. I don't recommend too much. That's why I drink tea, because tea has less caffeine in it. Not too much caffeine is not good, okay? All right. Yes.
What about, what you're hearing about coconut oil?
Coconut oil is also good.
Where'd it go?
You can cook food if you want, or you can actually put it in your milk or drink, but not too much of everything. Yes, exactly. That should be enough. Okay. Blackberries, blueberries, berries are very important food for your memory. You have to have these berries on your table if you want to be productive for more years, if you want to save your memory. It's very, very important for your memory. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, all berries are very, very important. Pecans and peanuts and almonds. Almonds, whatever item I'm telling you, make sure you make a list of them. Make sure you divide them up. Some at breakfast, some as a snack, some on the lunch table, some on the dinner table. So make sure you add those. It's for you, and take them as religiously as you take your medication. Okay?
What about bananas? What are bananas?
Banana has a lot of potassium in it. It's good food. It also has a lot of minerals, sodium, potassium, a lot of potassium. If people are taking water pills, they can stop the potassium pills and they can get banana with that. So banana, and I usually tell them, if they're taking water pills for their blood pressure or for their heart, don't take the potassium pills. Take banana, and they take apricot and dates. Another item you should have on your table is dates. Dates. Not the dating, that the dating service. The dates. That's really good. But having the dates on your table is also very, very important. Okay, let's go to the next slide. That's it? Okay. I don't want to do, I want to take the questions. Okay,
Yes, I have recently started using apple cider vinegar
that's good.
with water and honey.
That's good.
And I have the book, it will be good for so many ailments.
Exactly.
I read the book through, and if those things are accurate, then it certainly is what I've learned from your amendments. And I do feel that since I've been taking it for about a month, I don't take medication at all, but I still feel like it's better than taking it.
I'll tell what she said. She said she started recently taking apple cider vinegar with honey.
And what-
I tell you what it does, because I wanted to, if I give too much information, it's too overwhelming and people get bored. I do a little bit at a time, and then I make sure that whatever information is giving, they take it. Even 5% of that is good. So vinegar, what vinegar does is actually it increases your metabolic rate. Again, I'm going to say our body is like cars. We need fuel in our cars, right? The vinegar, lemon juice, grapefruit juice or grapefruit, it actually increases our metabolic rate, so our car can run faster. People use this to lose weight. Anybody who wants to lose weight, apple cider vinegar or plain vinegar, put it in water, or also lemon juice in water, or grapefruit. That you will lose honey. You will lose weight. But honey actually, it does is honey makes it sweeten. Honey actually also reduce the inflammation, so you feel better. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Iodine. I use sea salt, and I've been told it does not have iodine. That's something that's added to salts and it's labeled on the package. So, might I want to look elsewhere for iodine?
I think there is a salt with it says iodized salt. Right?
Yeah, they have iodized salt.
They have iodized salt,
Right,
regular
but
salt.
I don't use that, I've been using.
The sea salt?
A sea salt.
Large chunky pieces that I put in some stews.
So is it worth trying to get iodine supplemented?
No. No supplements. Try to
So where am I
find.
gonna get my iodine?
And first of all, find out if we sometime our water, our all these things. I personally think that number one, if you are eating all these things, I don't have right on the top of my head which foods will have iodine. And next time Amy will make a note of it. We'll give them the food and find out that one, and then otherwise you can use the regular salt. I don't think that should be, your body need too much of that. If you don't have thyroid problem, it is usually third world countries problem.
I had a couple of aunts that did.
You can have your thyroid check your thyroid. If your thyroid, you don't have a problem, then you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, you don't want to have too much also. Your body doesn't, you will start seeing thyroid problem if you lack of iodine.
Honey, there's so many different kinds.
Any honey which is more closer to the natural way, or nice, I actually, one way is you go really to the basics, and there are some honeys which are really, the raw honey, but otherwise, honey, I just buy whatever is on sale. Yes.
Somebody wanted me to ask you if garlic would lower blood pressure.
Garlic will lower cholesterol. Garlic thins the blood. Garlic work like aspirin. Garlic work like Lipitor. It thins our blood. It thins our blood. So yes, in one way it does lower the blood pressure also, because the blood is thin, and if you take garlic, 1 clove every day, 1 clove, the way you are going to do is peel the clove, cut it into 2 pieces, and don't chew it, because some of my patients start chewing it and they say, oh, he hated it. I don't want you guys to hate me. Don't chew it, put it on your tongue and drink a glass of water. After that, you can take a little bit of honey. You will not have a bad breath. But you will not use the blood pressure medicine. My mom's cholesterol is 100. The total cholesterol is 200. Her cholesterol is 100. And she is in her 80s. And she has been taking this garlic since the age when she was like young like her. In her 20s. Okay. So her cholesterol, she doesn't take Lipitor. And garlic is must also. I think some items Amy just sent me that review, but I didn't get a chance to add garlic. Garlic is very important. One more item, which I am going to tell everyone. That is black seeds. Black seeds. Black seeds.
Like poppy seeds?
It's not poppy seeds.
Oh.
It's like sesame seeds, but it is known as black seeds. And
Where do you get that?
now they are start selling on health stores, but you can find from any Indian Pakistani stores. There's one store, Super Bazaar on Sheridan, and then there are some other stores. black seed. The other name of black seeds is kalonji with Kalon,
And like a mother?
N as in Nancy,
Okay.
Gi, G as in I, kalonji, Kol, K-O-L-I-N-G,
Oh, I thought it was O-N-G.
O-N or I-N-G-I,
All right, what is it?
kalonji,
K-O-L.
O-N, K-O-L-O-N-G-I, kalonji, kalonji.
They have that at Wegmans?
No.
Super Bazaar. Super Bazaar. Super. I'll tell you the secret about this, the kalonji. In East, you know, every culture and every religion, they have their secrets, right? And each side, each household use their own home remedies, right? Everybody's mom and grandmother have their own remedies. So in East, the black seed is used a lot. There is a saying that it cures lots of illnesses except death. If God has made a reason, sometimes my grandma was so healthy. She was 90, she was mid-90s, and she was, oh my God, she used to clean her own, she used to wash her own clothes. We had like maids and everything, but she would say, no, I want to. She would iron it, she would do everything possible on the, you know, she was so productive. And one fine morning, she had an earache. She got ear infection and she died. But I said, God finds an excuse to take us back. So that's why black seeds, they said, except death. It has a lot of cures for a lot of illnesses except death. You can Google it on YouTube, you will see a lot of advantages of having black seeds on the table. A pinch only, a pinch only. You can put on your salad, you can put it on, see, it has little pungent taste, but you can put it in your food item, any item you it has salads, soup, exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
Curry.
yes.
What about, I mean, it's supposed to be cooked, right?
Curry?
Yeah.
Curry actually has all these, curry has most important item in curry is turmeric powder. And turmeric powder, anybody knows what turmeric is?
It's a mustard, too.
Mustard, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I took turmeric and I kept bleeding.
Bleeding?
And it stopped.
Really? Okay.
My son is a pharmacist and he told me that one of the side effects of turmeric is to bleed.
Possible. You know, as I said, I'm just saying some items are good for me, some are good for you, some are not. Everything is good for some people have egg allergies.
I have no trouble, I use it.
So egg allergies are, you know, so common. So I would not recommend people who are having egg allergies or eat eggs. No, some allergies are there. So turmeric also is anti-inflammatory. That is why it thins the blood. Turmeric also thins the blood. It also helps.
Yeah, high blood pressure, it's good.
Good, it's good, and also it actually, I tell you the story here, maybe somebody might have heard this story. I had a younger brother. I was like maybe 12 years old at that time, 11, 12, I don't remember the exact, but my younger brother, he was playing and glass fell on his leg. And he had like maybe 6, 7 inches or maybe this long cut on his front of his leg. And he was bleeding like, and I was about to faint. My mom said, I'm going to put, she took the towel and really press it, and we didn't have 911. Okay, and we didn't have any, we used to have a driver at that time, but he was not home, so we were home alone. So she pressed where the injury was, and she asked me to take the turmeric powder. So she made me saute the turmeric powder with olive oil, made a paste of it, and she put it on that and wrap it tight. She did it like 3 times a day. After a week, he doesn't even have scar. He does not even have a scar. Yeah. So turmeric is very good for healing. Any kind, people who take turmeric, they don't get cancer of the colon. Colon cancer, they have, I shouldn't say they don't, I should say they have less It reduces the risk of colon cancer.
I thought you were saying turmeric was a blood thinner,
It also thins the blood.
which would mean.
I shouldn't say it thins the blood. It's also anti-inflammatory. It's anti-inflammatory also. So it reduces the inflammation. It reduces the inflammation. It has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. The bleeding in that, maybe the bleeding of that might be that she actually, the other thing is that maybe that's turmeric, maybe something else, maybe the medication. But turmeric has anti-inflammatory properties and antibiotic. Turmeric is antibiotic too. Okay.
Thank you.
What kind of liquid could we put in it? Turmeric powder? What kind of liquid? Or just that vegetable?
Oil.
To drink?
This is another way you can drink turmeric is have a glass of milk, put a 1/4 of teaspoon of turmeric, put some crushed almonds, boil it, put a one tablespoon of honey, make a drink out of it. That's very tasty drink. Yeah.
Put it in soups and stews.
And food also.
fries.
Yes, yes.
Fish oil.
Fish oil is good. Very good. It also is, fish oil has a lot of vitamin E, and it actually reduces the dementia risk of dementia. Omega-3. If you can take it in food, take it in food rather than sardines and tuna and all those. Instead of taking the omega-3, take the fish. Eat the fish, enjoy it.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else has question?
Tuna, you're better off to get like a tuna steak, not a can of tuna fish.
Exactly. Try to eat fresh if you can. If you cannot eat fresh, then go to the frozen. If frozen, then go to the can. So fresh is always better. Eat less, eat healthy. Instead of what we do is we actually fill up our freezer that, oh my God, maybe we'll not have home at a time. And it will give you a way to, go out again to do shopping. Oh, yes.
What about butter and margarine?
Margarine? No. No way margarine. Butter? Yes. You can have a little butter. As I said, 30% of our food can have oil, can have fat, and butter has fat, so 30% of our food can have butter. Margarine, there's a product in margarine. I think it's a long name. Huh? Yeah, it has, I don't want to say that wrong, but it has a product in that, and that causes dementia. There's a researchers has done a research, and they say that anything which makes a buttery, like you will buy these popcorn which are butter, they don't use real butter, they use those margarine and they use those products which are actually affecting the brain cells, and it's not good for you. So margarine is not good for you.
Isn't it just a chemical? And it's a chemical, and all chemicals,
It's an emulsifier.
don't put chemicals in your body. That's basically it.
Simple formula. Don't get the food items which are already,
Whatever, processed. Right.
processed. And this is why I'm again,
Stay natural.
stay natural. What?
More natural you are, you're whatever.
Yes, okay. If people are dried foods, right? Dry apricots, dried bananas, dried this. Why we're eating dry when we can eat fresh? Because when we have dry, they have lot of nitrates, and that causes stomach cancer.
Well, the thing is, God made it right. Whatever product he made, when we go over there and some chemist decides to do that with some guy who owns a store and wants the last on the shelf for 3 years, there's got to be something wrong with it.
Yes, exactly.
I have a question though. What about peanuts? What do you think about
Peanuts are good. Peanuts are
All
good.
nuts.
All nuts are good. Peanuts are good. God has made these things for us to eat. We should eat them, but very little at a time. or we don't change them, don't amend them,
Yeah.
don't dry them, don't do this, don't do that. You know, we do so many things to that. Bananas, we'll dry the banana. Why do we dry the bananas?
Yeah, right.
Right? Dried bananas.
It tastes lovely too. That's tasty too. It tastes good.
Stays on the shelf longer.
Yes.
But,
So,
yeah,
so
3
you
years later, right?
keep yourself healthy, keep yourself simple. Keep yourself simple, healthy. Yes.
Since you talked last time, I started eating an organic, and actually my friend has a farm, so she gives me rice, and they actually taste better. When I make my boiled eggs, my scrambled eggs, there's more to it, there's more substance. My husband actually said, I don't know, I used to eat like those eggs. But I said, that's why God made an egg, that's how it's supposed to taste. It's not supposed to taste so watery.
Yes, exactly. The taste is so different. This is why I said save your money buying all those vitamins on the shelves. And I think there is new vitamins are coming. I think Nutrametrics, I think. They have a different delivery system. I have been talking to these people, and I think I wanted to know more about. Sometimes people have allergies to certain foods and they have to take the vitamins. So for those people, I think that might be another alternative. Okay, any other question?
What about COQ10? That's what my friend takes it, and I don't know, is that really a good method? Yeah.
It also, it's good for the heart. People, cardiologists recommend that a lot because they say it also reduces the inflammation. But if you're eating properly, all the good diet, you maybe don't need that. But it comes from cardiology. Yeah.
You mentioned Lipitor before. I find that Reggie's rice works better than Lipitor and has no negative side effects.
Perfectly. With a lot of food items, I think next one, Amy, remember that we'll make a list and we'll do what the food does it, and we will make a handout for that. People will remember that. Otherwise, it's hard to remember everything. So I think that food item. Yeah, I know. I saw you were taking. Anything else, or we are done? We are on time. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Was it useful?
Yes.
Yes. Good.